Violence in schools. In Eldorado Park, south of Johannesburg, a student allegedly used a gun to threaten a teacher. And in Dinokana near Zeerust in the northwest province, another learner is facing charges after fatally stabbing a teacher at school. Now, what is causing this school violence and what can be done? Well, to look at this, I'm now joined from our Durban studios by somebody that's made school violence the subject of her Ph.D. thesis. We say good evening to Dr. Zithobile Mkhize-Ngidi right now. Thanks very much for joining us. Welcome to the program.
Good evening, Peter. Thank you for having me in the studio.
All right. I know that you're a deputy principal of a school, so that violence in the schools is something that worries you. Why did it worry you to such a degree that you would study it?
Please come again with the question.
Okay, I was just saying that this problem of school violence was an issue for you to do a thesis on your PhD. And I was just wondering, what were the findings in the main of your thesis?
Oh, okay. Thank you very much, Peter. You know, the school violence, it's a nightmare. So when I was taking the study, there isn't one factor that contributes to school violence. So I can say school violence, it's just the series of interrelated factors. So my findings included facts like environmental influences, where learners complained loud about the behavior of the community. They took this as the problem that they see every day in their lives. That is why the violence is like this in school. And another factor, they complained a lot about the lack of parental involvement. I remember I quote, one participant I quote said, "Our parents are not raising us the way they were raised by their parents. They do not have time for us. They are too busy with their life. Their work schedule, they even take them back to us at home," close quotes. So there is this thing that they see the school violence as the issue of these factors like lack of parental involvement. And another one they looked at, I discovered the issue of the lack of parental awareness, whereby parents are doing things that they are not aware that they impact negatively on children's mind. For example, in their affairs, when they fight, when they do things, they do not associate that with children. Then the influence of poverty, we all know the challenge of unemployment, their influence, the peer influence, the influence of romance, love relationships. So those were the factors that I found in my findings as impacting the most on the school violence.
All right, and these will vary, I guess, from province to province, from area to area. I just wonder, what sort of interventions do you think are most likely to have the best impact?
Before I answer that one as the intervention, let me just look at this one. Like, there are interventions that are in place already. So every stakeholders have tried something on school violence. So schools are trying to use the punitive measures, which is the disciplinary measures within the school. Things like office referral, things like in and out on suspension. They are also trying to work with SABC on security measures. So they are also trying other strategies like drug awareness campaigns for learners. There are strategies that have been tried, but when you see this, the level of violence is escalating. That made me to say, let me try the alternative way, other strategies on violence. So hence I concentrated on cure violence model. So for me, I think What we can try now is to teach our learners problem-solving skills, anger management. But for me, I just take it on the point of let's cure the violence, let's teach them, maybe to teach them as early as in grade R, so that they can have this understanding of how to do their things correctly.
All right. Is this something that needs to be taught at schools? Or I guess from what I was hearing earlier on, parents very much need to be involved in this process? Hello, Dr. Mkhize, can you hear me? All right, okay, it looks like she can't hear us anymore, but some fascinating research that she's done for her PhD, and it sounds like a lot of the interventions, the traditional ones, perhaps are not getting the desired results, and she talked about curing, and it sounded almost actually more like prevention, and that's teaching children to, or giving them problem-solving skills, and to counteract some of the negative influences and environmental influences that they're currently undergoing at the moment. Okay, that's an issue I'm sure we'll continue to talk about and debate in the coming weeks and months because it's so horrific, some of the things that we're seeing. We're going to take a quick break, and we come back, more for you right here on Your Story.